This first one is titled Journalisming the Story of Equal Rights. Both of these are in the book. Dun, dun, dun. Only $20. Oh,
She said she got two short ones, so.
Relatively. We'll see. I don't know how to rate short when I'm talking about trying to get these issues out, right? Copy editing and proofreading seem to take up half of my workday. Reviewing other people's essays, correcting spelling, punctuation, removing spaces at the ends of paragraphs, mostly technical stuff. But after reading an essay talking about the 29th Amendment should be created after a number of states have passed anti-abortion laws after the overturning of Roe v. Wade to help women who needed assistance, whom are impoverished and they need more restrictive states to help them get to more free states so they can exercise their own rights, and that the government does not have the right to take away. This essay ended saying that the 28th Amendment, of course, is the Equal Rights Amendment. The journalist in me went into overdrive because I had to look, confirm with the U.S. Constitution, even Wikipedia. Although having equal rights seems like a splendid idea, the total number of U.S. amendments in the Constitution is only 27. I had to tell them they had to correct their copy, and they only said that at the end they'll change that the 28th Amendment should be the Equal Rights Amendment. I question if that is all that needs to change, though, because the Equal Rights Amendment introduced to the U.S. government nearly a century ago, 1923, failed to pass. The IRA was reintroduced in 1971, passing the House and Senate, but then went to the state legislature for ratification, where it was rejected by a few states and was never passed. In the new millennium, even this very decade, the one that saw the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the states taking women's rights away, that decade. The House Judiciary Resolution 28 does propose, quote, an amendment to the Constitution of the United States relative to the equal rights of men and women. But again, equality for women is something still yet to pass. So, reading this letter to the editor for future publication, I questioned the essay, wondering if it misses the point. If there was any chance for equal rights for women in the United States, then their rights wouldn't be removed by select conservative men in government in the first place. If anyone ever truly wanted to codify equality for women, it would have been done long ago, and we wouldn't be in this pit mankind has thrown us into now as we furiously claw our way back to the light. And because they said journalism, Janet, this one is also related to that silly notion. It's titled Kerning, Ballots, and Women's Rights. Graphic artists with typesetting is one of our begrudgingly used tools. Don't expect to hear their jargon during women's rights court battles, but it's beginning to look a lot like Republicans will use any measure to stop women and all the people from fighting for their stolen rights. Here's the scoop. Approaching 750,000 people signed an abortion rights petition for a vote but, however, word spacing, a term that we graphic artists and typographers call kerning, is now the sticking point Republicans claim as the reason for this crucial issue, why it can't be on the ballot. Really? Word spacing. That's the reason that you anti-abortion, anti-women's rights Republicans use. I mean, there is not enough liquor to drink that would make me believe that this is your true excuse. It's beginning to sound a lot like desperation on your part to stop your unfair edicts from being questioned by rationality. For it's beginning to feel a lot like tyranny when a select few make what they call laws to restrict the world, and we're supposed to just take it with no questions asked. Are we a dictatorship? Are we a self-perpetuating autocracy in which the working classes have no say? Well, the state of Michigan may be shrugging off the will of the people, but battles pushed this to court. Emergency complaints were filed with the state Supreme Court. If type was unreadable, then why did so many read and sign the petition? Courts believed, and on the exact day I scribed these words, that yes, the words were there, and they could be read by all who had the right to vote. It's beginning to sound a lot like more of the same from people who don't have the evidence to support their arguments. So they sing a song of a side story so that they can avoid talking about the real issue. Listen, we've been talking about it all along. You just haven't listened. Thank you. And thank you to Vito. And give it up for Vito and Dave.
Thanks for coming.